Welcome back to Unjaded. Today I'm going to walk you through an exercise that I use with clients. I've used this even on discovery calls, which is a term that I absolutely hate. But anyway, you know what I mean when I say that. And the people have ended up not needing to hire me. So this is really going to be worth your time to listen to. Welcome to Unjaded. This is your straight talk, shoot from the hip, wrapped in a little bit of love, Human Design for Business podcast. We talk a lot here about clarifying your message so that you can bring in paying clients with ease. And ease is different from easy. Stick around to find out how we roll here. I'm your host, Vicki Dixon. I am a 2-4 emotional manifesting generator, light on the emotional, and I'm a quad right in human design. In real speak, I am an entrepreneur of 30 plus years. I've had every kind of business there is, and I always say that business is my love language. I can't wait to dive in with you here on the podcast. So how would it feel to walk into 2025, which is just a couple of days away now? How would it feel to walk into 2025 understanding your greatest gifts and how you express those in the world? How would it feel to have complete clarity around what you're here to do and how you're here to serve, your purpose? It's amazing when we can have that clarity, right? But so many times we are focused on the things that are wrong with us, the things we didn't get done in 2024, the goals we didn't reach, the places we still need to work on in ourselves, that we forget all of the goodness that's within us. So in this exercise, I'm going to take you through. It's really a powerful thing for you to do, and you get to make it your own. So you may be someone who's really, really crafty, who's really creative, visually creative, who loves to be artsy fartsy, I always say. Or you may be someone more like me who doesn't have that visual creative spark. My creativity is more for the written word and for language. You may be someone who's just more logical and you just want to have the words on your paper, and any way that you do this is absolutely fine. The thing is that it's a process that's going to help you to understand your greatest gifts. You're going to get to know yourself as you go through this process, and then you're going to have an end result that you are going to study every single day. And I know I'm making it sound serious, but trust me when I say that this is a fun and beautiful exercise that is going to guide you back to yourself and back to your own highest gifts so that you know how you serve the people that you're here to serve. This is for you to see the gifts that you bring to the table. It's like a Venn diagram on steroids. So first, of course, we're going to start with your human design chart. And if you don't have your human design chart, then you can pause this episode and head on over to my website. It's vickidixon.com. The link is in the show notes for you. And you can grab your human design chart. Now, you're going to go on a little bit of a scavenger hunt if you're not familiar with human design. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be a process that maybe takes a little bit of time. So set aside some time, maybe between Christmas and New Year's. Maybe you'll do it all in one day. It's up to you. You're the boss of you, right? But give yourself the time to really expand on this. So what you're going to do with this human design chart of yours is that you are going to look at the highest expression of each and every piece of your human design. There's a lot of pieces in your human design. So this is not something that you're going to do in 5 minutes. This is a process that I would love for you to make a ritual around, make it really, really fun and energizing for yourself. So you're going to look at your type. If you're a generator type, what is the highest expression of you being a generator? You're magnetic, right? You have a great big aura. You draw others into you. Write down or get a picture, if you're a visual person, of something that really represents that energy. If you're a projector, you're here to guide. You're a lighthouse. You have this penetrating aura. You're able to really deeply focus on one person at a time, the person in front of you. Of course, I'm only mentioning little bits of the gifts of each of these types, okay? But you get the idea. Look at your strategy. Your strategy is to respond, to be invited, to initiate, to sample. It took me a second to come up with that one. So how is that working in your life? When you're in the highest expression of that, what does it look like in your life? What does it feel like in your life? How can you convey that in words or in pictures on this craft project that you're making? Look at your authority. Look at the highest expression of every one of your gates. I love to look at the gene keys for this as well. Your profile, your channels, your centers, every single bit of your human design. Find the absolute highest expression of the gifts within your human design, and don't pay any attention to the shadows or the conditioning or any of that stuff. This is just about your gifts, okay? So where are you going to find this information if you don't know? Even if you do know, I mean, we're always learning more about our human designs, right? So even if you do know, I'm going to invite you to go on some sort of a scavenger hunt. So in this podcast, you will find loads of information about most of these pieces. On my blog, there is a Gates library that you can access there, and you can just pick away at that. It shows some of the gene key stuff, some of the Gates information, highest expression shadows, all of those things, but we're not looking at the shadows for this, remember? And not just in my world, right? There are, I mean, if you Google Gate 48 human design, you'll get pages and pages and pages of information that you can look at. So just do what feels right for you. There are other podcasts on human design that you can listen to. There are other teachers. You probably have books in your library on human design that you can go to find the highest expression of these gifts. Go everywhere. Make this fun. Make it expansive for yourself. Then maybe you're someone who knows your astrology. What is the highest expression of your astrological gifts, of the signs, your rising and your descending and your sun sign and your moon sign and all of the things? What are the highest expression of those gifts? Write those down or create a visual with those. Look at any career or personality assessments you've taken. You know, when I was in the direct sales world, StrengthsFinder was really big. And, you know, we did everything according to our top 5 strengths. What are your top strengths? If you're a Myers-Briggs person, if you're an Enneagram person, the highest expression. Remember, we're not even considering the shadows. What is the highest expression of you? And then I want you to look at your lived experience. What are the things that you're most proud of that you've done? You know, if you're a parent, maybe you're super proud of the people that you brought into the world and who they have become and the legacy that you're leaving. Maybe you're really proud of the healing work that you've done on yourself because you know that you've healed generations forward. Maybe you're proud of projects that you have participated in, or teams that you've been involved in, or careers that you've had. You know, there are things throughout your life that you can say, you know what, I did a really good job at that. I enjoyed doing that job so much. For me, one of my very favorite jobs of all was my first job ever, and I was a waitress, and I freaking loved that job. My 4th line came to life in that job, dealing with the people. And probably my Gate 27, nurturing, right? Nurturing, mama bear energy. I loved that job. So look at everything you've done with your life. And it doesn't have to be something that you've been paid for. It could be hobbies that you love, everything. We are just getting, again, the highest version of you onto this craft project, this paper, this binder, however you choose to do it. So get it all out of you. And this probably is something, like I said, that's going to take you days. You know, when I've done discovery calls with people and they're really unclear of their gifts, this is a project that I often give to them. And then they'll come back to me like 2 weeks later and they say, oh my gosh, this took me 2 full weeks to get through. But holy cow, I had no idea that this is who I was. And I'm right now talking with my hands, which you can't see, but I'm talking with my hands and I'm like spread out on my desk. And that's what I want this to be for you, whether it's on Bristol board or in a binder or whatever, but I want you to be like spread out in front of yourself, that you actually are looking at your highest gifts. And then I want you to study that. I want you to study that and see how beautiful you are and how many gifts you bring to the table, because the planet needs you right now more than ever. You are going to be faced with the most beautiful expression of yourself. And trust me, something will emerge where you will find the clarity that you need to move forward into 2025 and beyond. Something will shift in you when you look at the gift of you on paper in front of you. You may have been so focused on your conditioning and your shortcomings that you don't even see your gifts. You have no idea what you bring to the table. And that all changes now. So once you're finished with this little project, this big project, I invite you to put it where you will see it every day. That may mean hanging it on the wall in your kitchen. And you know what? It's not going to hurt anyone else in your family to see how badass you are as well. It may be on your bathroom mirror. It may be in your office. It may be in your bedroom. So it's the first thing you see when you wake up. And I want you to, I'm telling you a lot of what I want you to do. I invite you to actually look at it every day. Please don't just hang it there and kind of bypass it every single day and not really study your gifts. I invite you to get really juicy in this, to really look at, focus. I'm looking at mine right now that I did probably 3 years ago. Focus on the words there if you chose to use words. Mine is just pictures of words cut out of magazines and things on a pretty background. Yours may be all visual, but look at it every day. Study it. Give gratitude for the person that you're here and for you acknowledging your gifts and sharing them with the world. And then send me a picture on Instagram. I'm Vicky.Dixon on Instagram, and I would love to see this project that you create. I would love to see who you really are. And I promise you, I will hold you to that. I will hold the healed outcome of you always for you, because sometimes you're not going to have the energy to hold it for yourself. And that's why it's helpful to have someone else's eyes on this design of yours. So that's your marching orders. Next week, I think I'm going to offer an episode on numerology and human design because it's always a popular session. I've given numerology sessions for the last, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 years. I'm not a numerologist. I use it in my life, and I worked with a numerologist on these sessions for probably 5 years. We did them 5 years in a row. So we are collectively stepping into a year 9. Year 9 has great healing energy. It's all about abundance. It's all about letting go. Completion, bringing things to completion. So I think that's what we're going to do next week. Stay tuned for that. So I'll meet you back here next week at the same time.